Well, hey everyone, it's Sean again, and in today's video, it's a part two of the God of Sickness, which if you haven't seen part one yet, I would suggest you watch that first, so give context to our continuation here in this section. So, in part one, it's talked a lot about the God of Sickness and the idols that we make up that are part of the God of Sickness, that all these images that we make up. And it's a very, very good section because it really helps us see, all these crazy idols and all the idol worshiping we do here. And that's all to replace the God of creation. So Jesus does such a phenomenal job here to help us see what we're doing. And all these are the blocks to the awareness of love's presence. All these idols that we're making up. We're saying like, no, God, I don't want your love. I don't deserve it, so I'm going to make up my own idol that I can worship. It's insane, but that's what we do. The ego is just so clever at having us do that. So in the continuation of this section, Jesus says, look calmly at the logical conclusion of the ego's thought system and judge whether its offerings is really what you want, for this is what it offers you. And so the ego's thought system, is that thought system of separation that is everything, including ourselves, we seem to be separate from, including being separate from our source. And so the ego, what the ego offers is, this whole separate identity thing that we go around defending and protecting. And we're constantly attacking others as a form of defending our separate identity. And this is what the ego is giving us, this separate identity. Here, you can be your own God, your own self. And here we are with all this sense of unworthiness, lack, limitation, scarcity, and fear, and all that comes with, I have to defend this now. What do I do? These people want to steal my identity. They want to steal this or whatever. So that's what the ego offers us. And what's the logical conclusion for that? Fear, pain, suffering, misery, and of course, eventually, death of the body. That's what the ego offers us. Why would we choose that? And so Jesus continues, to obtain this, you are willing to attack the divinity of your brothers and thus lose sight of your own. And so by defending our separateness, our separate identity, we do that by attacking the divinity of our brothers, which our divinity is in them too. So we're attacking our own divinity. We're saying we're not worthy of that. Or maybe as how clever the ego is, it may know that if we join them there in our divinity, it will be the end of it. So our divinity is a threat to the ego. And we're defending that by attacking our brothers instead of recognizing the divinity within them. And only by doing that can we recognize that within ourselves too. And you are willing to keep it hidden to protect an idol you think will save you from the dangers for which it stands, but which do not exist. Okay, so let me get this straight, Mr. Ego. I am hiding this awareness of you and what you're doing and creating this separate identity so that because I think you will save me from the dangers that I gave to you, I think are coming from you. It's just, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. So let me repeat this again. And you are willing to keep it hidden to protect an idol you think will save you from the dangers for which it stands, but which do not exist. So this idol that we have of our separate self, so to speak, the ego, that think of the ego as that idol is the ultimate idol because it's just a God of sickness, but we keep it hidden within our consciousness, our awareness. We're not aware this is what we're doing, and we worship this separateness, and we think that the danger that the ego is going to protect us from it, the danger that is coming from it. It just doesn't make any sense when you just look at it rationally. It's just like, well, this is insane. God's Son knows no idols, but he does know his Father. Health in this world is the counterpart of value in heaven. It is not my merit that I contribute to you but my love, for you do not value yourself. And so, so we put our value in the valuelessness. So the health in this world is a counterpart to heaven because of the value of heaven, because we value the body and what we think the body will give us. And so, but the body will eventually get sick and die. So we're valuing the valueless. There's nothing that's eternal about anything we value here in this world, whether we value money, another person, a book, whatever these things that we value, they're valueless because they're not eternal. Only what is eternal has real value, and that is our creation, the love that we are created by, that perfect holy self, the Holy Son of God that we all are of. And that is the only value there really is. Everything else is valueless. And so, let's see, Jesus says, continues, when you do not value yourself, you become sick. But my value of you can heal you because the value of God's Son is one. And so, when we don't, that sickness is, this, whether it be of the mind or of the body, that comes from that lack of value that we have, the value of our true self, the value of holiness, of wholeness, of that perfect peace that we are. And so only a sick mind would believe that it is not of its own wholeness. And so, the sickness of a body, the sickness we're experiencing, is just the effect of that. The cause is the mind of sickness that thinks it is separate from its source. And because we don't value our source, we don't value the self we were created by, as we were created by God. And so we try to find that value in the valuelessness, of the world, the transient things that just don't have any value. When I said, my peace I give unto you, I meant it. Peace comes from God through me to you. It is for you, although you may not ask for it. So Jesus tells us that peace that he has given us is already there. But are we asking for it? Because if we were really asking for it, we'd be accepting it. And so, but he has accepted it for us. And now he shares it to us, just like he's asking us to do here with all of our brothers. Just be willing to share it, to give it away so that we can have it. And when we ask for it, I want the peace of God, then that peace is given to us, because now we go about removing the barriers to having that peace of God. And that's what we got to do here. It's not enough just to say, I want the peace of God, but then maintain the barriers that are preventing us from having the peace of God, experiencing it. And so it's there. We just have to be not only willing to ask for it, but also remove those blockages, those barriers. And so, I think that's the end of that one. Nope, I'm sorry. I missed a page there. Okay. So he continues. When a brother is sick, it is because he is not asking for peace, and therefore does not know he has it. The acceptance of peace is the denial of illusion, as sickness is an illusion. So, it's because how can we be peaceful as long as we believe in illusions? Because illusions are transient. They're constantly changing. There's nothing constant, consistent, or certain about any illusions, because they're always in a constant state of change. They're ephemeral, how you say that. But they're just, changing. They're just images that are constantly changing. There's nothing eternal about them. And so, we believe, like these bodies, they're always changing. It can go from health to sickness and back again. And there's, where's the peace in that? So peace is of the mind, and it's in the mind. It's already there. And Jesus is asking us, just be willing to recognize that and start to value what is real, and that real peace that is of our holy mind. That's the peace of God. I can heal you because I know you. I know your value for you, and it is this value that makes you whole. I can heal you because I know you. I know your value for you, and it is this value that makes you whole. So there again is our real value. So once we stop asking or seeking value in this world, in the transient and the valuelessness, and start asking Jesus or the Holy Spirit, okay, what is my real value? Because they do know. that is of that mind, of that holy mind. That's what our real value is. There's nothing valuable about any of this we're doing here in this world. So we just got to recognize it. Then we go about, doesn't mean that we just give up everything we're doing in the world. We just choose another teacher, a teacher of peace, the teacher that knows our true value. The ego doesn't. The ego is always going to have us value the valueless, value the illusions, whereas Jesus and the Holy Spirit would have us value what is real, value reality, value heaven, value our innocence and the way we were created by God, and not try to value what we wish to believe, but value as we are. That makes sense. You could accept peace now for everyone and offer them perfect freedom from all illusions because you heard His voice. But have no other gods before Him, or you will not hear. Let's see, have no other gods before Him, or you're not here. What does that remind me of? Oh yeah, that 10 Commandment thing. What's the first one? Thou shalt place no other God before me. No wonder we break all the other 9 commandments. We can't even get past the first one. We got all these gods, these idols that we put before God. And that's why we can't hear God's voice, the Holy Spirit, is because, He's there, He's speaking to us, but we got all these other idols we're listening to that we've given a reality to and trying to make real for us. And, it's just noise. It's noise of idol noise. Idol worshiping noise. It's all it is. And that's why we can't hear the Holy Spirit's voice. So we might have to be willing to first recognize it. Yeah, I was hoping to get something by putting my faith in this. It could be a thing, person, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. Still an idol. Anything we put before God, we are making an idol. We're making a God to substitute for God. And so therefore we can't hear the voice of voice for God, which is the Holy Spirit. And so just recognize that. Yeah, that's just, man, I've done it with, look at all the idols I made up. Those are just layers of noise that I have, put over this veil of forgetfulness that I put up. So now to prevent me from hearing the truth, no, there must be something else. So I got to make up something else. I make up an idol. There it is. This is I'll find my happiness here. This thing, person, situation, this will give me everything I've been looking for that I'm lacking, and it doesn't, and it never will, because we're valuing the valueless. So, recognizing that's the key. So just be willing to recognize what you're doing. That, I put this before God. And so this is a way of redirecting our mind to become vigilant only for God in His kingdom, instead of vigilant for illusions. God is not jealous of the gods you make, but you are. We are. We make all these different idols, and then we're, that would be that's why we're jealous of other people, because we made them into gods. They have something we don't, or maybe they're going to take something from us. There's something different from it. There's some kind of idol worshiping going on, whether it be idol, worshiping in hate, or something we want to get from them. Doesn't matter. It's like that. That's why there is this jealousy that we experience with it. Most times it's other people, their situations. They have something I don't, and therefore I'm jealous. And it's almost like we make a god of them. Look what they have. They must be better than me, and da 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 da. And so we put these people. How many times we do this? We put people on a pedestal and then knock them off. Say, yeah, see, they're not any different from me. It was just idol worshiping. You would save them and serve them because you believe that they made you. He's talking about the idols. You think they are your father. Luke, I am your father. You think they are your father because you are projecting onto them the fearful fact that you made them to replace God. So there it is. These idols, we make them to replace God. We had to believe in something else because we can't believe in what is real. And so that's just the dream situation where we find ourselves, the dream of separation. As long as we keep making up these dream idols, these dream gods, we'll remain asleep and dreaming. And so, but once we recognize that we're doing, when we start removing, we withdraw the belief in them. We withdraw the power that we think they have, that we gave them, and recognize it was just something I made up. The only meaning they had was the meaning I gave it. That's it. They were meaningless. They were valueless. And so recognize that. Recognize what's behind that we're hiding behind that. That's that perfect holiness. That is God of love, the God of perfect love, our Creator, the God of creation, as it is, and that our self is there as it is, as we were created, the holy self that we're all part of. So anyway, I'm going to end that here. And I'm going to do one more video. There's a couple more paragraphs that will get into more of helping us see it in a new way. So anyway, I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, comments, please write them in the comments section. Like and share if you can. And I'll see you in the next video, okay? Y'all be good to each other and be good to yourself. Talk to you then.